Okay, good day everyone, and welcome to another topic of our advanced Excel with respect to data analytics. Today we'll be looking at a very important part, and that is index match. Index match is a very important features in Microsoft Excel, the advanced parts, although it is an upgrade on VLOOKUP. You know, initially the last topic we look at VLOOKUP and how you can look up a value from a particular table. So index match is an advance of VLOOKUP with less criteria, but it's a little bit technical, so you have to be very meticulous about it. So let's get started by jumping into our Excel sheet. Okay, this is our Excel worksheet. And as I've said earlier, we'll be looking at index match. But before we proceed, we know that this is a table already. From what you can see, I've converted this small table into a proper table of Excel. You can confirm that the table name is IT. So that is what I'll be using. So we'll be starting with index. And usually index is a function that returns a particular value. So let's get started and see. We start with equals to, I type index. So it breaks out the function. Oh, before we do that, look at what it says. Returns a value or reference of the cell at the intersection of a particular row and column in a given range. So what it means is that it's going to return a particular value that is in that particular cell that you call. So if I click on my tab now, it tells me that I'm doing the first one up. It's saying index. I need an array, I need a row number, and I need the column number. So for the array is talking about the name of the table. In this context, array is the name of the table. So the name of my table here is IT, as I've shown earlier. Then it brought that out. Very good. Then I'm going to put a comma. Then the row number is asking me that this is Bruno Akpan. Which role is it? So I can come and check my table and see this is the first row, this is the second row. It's on the second row. I can click 2. Then I click my comma. Then it's saying that which column is it? This is the first column and this is the second column. The second column is a customer name. So I can pick 2. Then I can close the bracket. What I'm doing here is I want to check what value is on the second row and it is also on the second column. So if I click enter, it's going to give me Bruno Akpan because that is what is on the second row and it is also on the second column. So if I drag this down now, you can see it's still giving me Bruno Akpan because I've not identified that. Okay, change the next one. So I'm going to say that I should change the next one. Remember, we have our row number here. This Oladuni Adiola is on third row, so I'm going to change this to 3. Then it's still on the second column, that is fine. And it's giving me what is in this particular cell. That is what is returning for me. And that is fine. That is how index work. Index is going to return the particular details or values that is in a particular cell that you are referencing. This is on the 4th row, if I'm not wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Umar is on the 4th row, and that's what we have. Now let's go to match. What match does is going to tell you which particular row is a number. Please don't forget, index is telling us what value is in that particular cell. And we know that a cell is named with respect to the column name and the row name. Like we have D17. This D17 is telling us that it is on column D and the row is 17. So index is going to tell you what is in that particular cell. But when you want to talk about match is going to tell you that that particular thing that is in that particular value, what is the row number in that table? That is what it's going to tell you. What is the row number? So let's quickly check manually. This Bruno Akpan, if you check here, Bruno Akpan is on the second row. So that is what match will be returning for you. Olawumi is on the 3rd row. Match will return 3rd for you. Umar is on the 4th row. Then it will return that for you. So they're a little bit different, but you just need to understand the syntax. So I'll start with equals to match. Then I click on my tab. Now it's saying that lookup value. Which value do you want to look up in this table? I want to look up Bruno Akpan. I can click on that, then comma. The lookup array is telling us that in where do you want to look for this Bruno Akpan. Although we have our table and it is large, but I'm not looking at the whole table. So I'm looking at just only this particular column. So I'm going to highlight that particular column. Then I'm going to click my comma. Then it's asking me, do I want less than or zero exact match? I want the exact match, so I can pick 0. Then I close the bracket, enter. You can see that it returns that Bruno Akpan is on the second row, and obviously it's on the second row here. So if I drag this down, let's see what happened. So it's telling us that this is on the third row and this is on the fourth row because we picked the other uh, side, and that is fine. You can see it has highlighted this for the first item, and that is very, very correct. But I want to show us something so that we know how this work, and we know another method that we can use to do that. I want to check for Umar now. Firstly, after my match, I'll click on, it says lookup value, which value? I'll click on Umar. Then, so you tell him that Umar is on C19, then I put my comma. The lookup array. Another way that I can get my lookup array, we know that my table, lookup array is talking about your table. My table is IT. But I'm not looking at the whole table for the particular column. I only want that part that deals with the customer name. So I'll click on IT, then I'm going to put a square bracket. The square bracket is going to go into my table and tell me all the headings that I have there. So I can pick the one that I really need. So I want the customer name, then I double click on that, then close the square bracket, put my comma, then it's asking me exact match or less than match. So I want exact match. So I'll click on that, then close the bracket, then hit enter. It's going to give me this. If you observe all this one as well, they did the same thing, but because we just highlighted that column, so Excel is generating it automatically for all that. Okay, it is on an IT table, then it is on the customer name, but this is another way of doing it manually. Now, there is a way that we can actually combine index match together in a particular function. We combine the two functions in a particular formula or statement, and that is what we want to do here. And this is where it will be looking like VLOOKUP. If we don't forget, for VLOOKUP, the table that we are dealing with, the first column in that table should be your primary lookup value. The first column should be your primary lookup value. It should contain your primary lookup value. What I mean is that I'm just doing this as a refresh. So if I want to look up for this Bruno Akpan and Ismaili here like this, so the first column in this table should be this customer name. If it is not customer name, if I use VLOOKUP, it's going to be giving me error. But for index match, the first column may not be this. It can be anywhere, and it's going to work. And that is why we say it is an upgrade. So if you only know VLOOKUP and you are getting error and your first column is not what your primary lookup value, that is the reason why you are getting error. But so that is why you need to upgrade to index match. So you can look for any value in any part of the table without it necessarily being the first column in your table. You can see that the first column in this table is gender, but we are starting with customer name. That's our primary lookup value. So our secondary lookup value is actually state. So let's see how it's going to go and how to combine it. So we start with equal sign, index, then we pick that index. It says array. Our array is this whole table. So IT, that is where we are going to. Then the row number. Okay, easily for Akpan here, we can easily come here that, okay, this row number is on row 2. But for instance, if you have a very large data and what you want to look up for is on, let's say, row 5522, you can't even know, and it is a very, very long search for you. So that is why you need to introduce match here. So I'll introduce my match function. Then my match is telling me that what is our lookup value. This is our lookup value, Bruno Akpan. Then it's saying that what is our lookup array. That means that this Bruno Akpan in this table, which column can we find it? We can, okay, it is on IT. and the table that it is on the customer name, and that is fine. Then I'm going to close this, then I'll put my comma. Yeah, I want exact match, so I'll click on 0, then close these with my bracket. Then I'm going to put my comma. That is the row number that I've gotten through my match. Then I'm going to put my comma. Then the column number is telling me that this is Bruno Akpan. Which column is it in this table? It is actually in column 1, 2. It's on the second column, so I'll put on 2. Then I'm going to close the bracket. So if I click on that, you can see oh, sorry, there's a little error here, and that is fine because yeah, there's a little error. I'm not looking for Bruno Akpan. I'm actually looking for the states. So the column where you have the state is 1, 2, 3. So you have to be very, very careful so that you don't make such mistake. So I want to return state. That is on the third column, and we have Ebony here straight up. So you can see that I've looked up for the state in this table, and what I'm looking for, the primary lookup value, is not the first item on my table as we have it in VLOOKUP, and it works fine. So that is how it works. So if I drag this down, it's going to give me all other ones. So let me manually do that of Lagos, Shinwade Kaya, so that we understand it better. I'm going to my equal sign. I will start with index. Yes. My array is IT table. That's the name of my table. Then I'm going to put my comma. So my row number now, I want to get it through match. That is where my match comes in. Then the lookup value is this name, comma. Then the lookup array, where do you have this name? You have it on the second column in the IT table. So the IT table, yeah, yes, this is correct. Then I put my comma. I want index match 0. Let me close my match function. I'm done with that. I'm going to put another comma because that is a row number, sorry. Then the column number, where do you have state? You have 1, 2, 3 is on the third column. So I'm going to put 3, then close the bracket. Then it's returning state for me. So the same thing for the customer ID. I'll start with match. Sorry, I'll start with index. Sorry about that. So I'll start with index. My array is IT. That's fine. Then my row number, we go to match. Yes, we go to match. Click on tab. Then the lookup value is Zainab Chapa. Yeah. The lookup array is my IT, but it should be the customer name part of it. Yes. Then I want exact match. Let me close that, my match function. Then I put another comma. Then the column name, where do we have customer ID? We have it 1, 2, 3, 4. We have it on the fourth column. I'm going to click that, close that. Yeah, and we have this. So if you check Zainab Chapa, where is Zainab Chapa? It is 1006, and that is correct. So I can easily drag this down, and I'm fine because I do highlight any of all these. So let's also do a last check for these as well. Okay, let me increase this a little bit. Okay, so let's do for this last 3 guys that we have here. We have equal to, you say index array. What is the array? Array is the table. That's the table name. In Excel, call it different names. So they call it array at times, array value or something like that. So then the row column is, I'm going to use match. Click on that. The lookup value is Akombibelo, comma. The lookup array is okay, is the IT, but the customer name part of it. Good. Then comma. Then I need an exact match, and I'm going to close that. Then a comma, the column that I want to check. Now let's say I want to check the sales for each of these. Let's say I want to check the sales. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's on the 5th column. Then I close my brackets. Then I have that. So it's telling me that this guy here made 55.5 sales, and that is correct. This is an approximate value that we have here. Then I can drag this down and we are fine. You see that for Olawumi Adeola too is the same. That's just an approximate value. So on a quick one, if you want to check, get the Naira sign in Microsoft. Okay, this is what you do quickly. So you put your equal sign, you type unical, that's a function as well. Then you put the number. The number that you put here is 8358. Then you close the bracket, hit your enter, then you have your Naira sign. So Excel to have recognized the Naira sign that we have in Nigeria. So that is the end of our index and match topic. So I want to implore us to also practice very well. And we are going to get our evaluation after this time out. Practice, do your evaluation and practice with a lot of data set, because index match will be the last topic that we'll be treating in our advanced Excel. And with practice, you are becoming a pro in Excel with respect to data analytics. Thank you very much for your time.